and we're going to go ahead and do a new patient workshop. And what that means is we're going to pay attention to how we can help more family members in the community. Your existing patients, their family members, and in the community. That's what we're going to do. It's a very unique situation with chiropractic. There's tremendous abundance and there's tremendous famine. And you're going to see why. Only 8% of the population utilizes chiropractic care. That's not a good thing. If we just wait for 8% of the people to call us, you're in trouble. You're not going to have a very good practice. It's limited by your geographic radius of draw. Patients aren't going to come 100 miles to see you. And it's more limited by your competition. The more people that you have stuffed in your geographic radius of draw, the more that 8% is divided up. So, one of the things that we want to pay attention to is to be able to get more of the 8%, but that's not what this is about. That's not what we're going to cover. Because I call that the small pond. And that's where most chiropractors fish, in a small pond. There's not many fish, and that's where 98% of the chiropractors go fish, is in that small pond. Why? They don't know any better. There's this other pond. It's actually a lake, and it's stacked with fish. Those are called new patients. Not many chiropractors go over there because they don't know how to fish over there. And in real terms, what does that mean? Well, the average chiropractor sees 107 patient visits a week, 18 new patients a month, only 8% utilization. So they're only half full. And these are chiropractors that have been in practice 14 years. That's the statistic. So they do not even maximize their capability. Most chiropractors, if they actually knew business, could see about 180 to 220 patient visits a week. But that's not what happens, because they only know how to fish out of that small pond, and it's very limiting. So one of the main key factors is how long somebody stays. Well, there's a reason why we want patients to stay from a physiological standpoint, and we're going to go into that. Why it's beneficial to receive chiropractic care for your health, and how it helps extremely with your function, your mobility, your activities of daily living, your attitude. So we'll go into that. But specifically what we're going to be going into is new patients. And we're going to focus on the big lake, because out of the 92% of the population that does not see chiropractic care, 3 out of 4 of them have a chiropractic problem. 3 out of 4. So that's about 68% of the population versus 8%. And you go, well, how wouldn't you like to access that market? Wouldn't you like to access, well, out of that 92%, 25% of them do not have a chiropractic problem. Now, what's the definition of a chiropractic problem? Is it my definition? No. Why do people go to chiropractors? What's the statistics say? 84% for back pain, neck pain, headaches. That's the statistics. 9%, in other words, neuromusculoskeletal spinal related problems. That's what chiropractic's known for, if it's known for anything at all. Okay. 7% are for extremities. So only 7% of 8% of the people get treated for extremities. Well, that's a real small number. If you want to start treating extremities, it's even lower than 8% with back pain. And then that's 91% of the total population. The last remaining 9% get chiropractic care for what's called the somatovisceral reflex, or you may know it as the subluxation. Now, what's interesting, so we're only talking about 9% of 8%. Real small number. Limited within a geographic radius. Now, is that a true number? Do all 9% actually call because they want their kid treated for asthma, allergy, bedwetting? In other words, these somatovisceral reflexes called a subluxation? No. What's the true story? 80% of those people come in for the gateway, back pain, neck pain, headaches. While they were in, the doctor did his little spiel and picked up one of their kids who had asthma, allergy, or bedwetting. So in the real world, What percentage of people are actually calling chiropractors for subluxations?
1%.
20% of 9% of 8%. Only 20% of that 9%, the 9% that get treated for the visceral, it's only 20% of those people. 4 out of 5 of them come in for the gateways and then as a byproduct get treated. Only 20% of 9% of 8%. Limited by your geographic radius of draw. How big of a number is that? Yeah, it's actually worse than that. Because now when you promote that, that's called a paradigm shift. And now when you promote it, you violate the number 1 rule in marketing, which is called violation of law of line extension. And that the public doesn't see chiropractors treating asthma, allergy, bedwetting, and treating cancer. Just like you don't see Taco Bell selling computers or KFC selling cars. So it's worse than that. It's not only a small number, it damaged the profession. And that's why chiropractic has a 67% negative name recognition. And the example is, if you went to a dentist, would you go to a dentist for asthma? No. Okay. You'd go for your teeth, right? So you go for your teeth, then you're sitting in the chair, and the dentist looks at you. And he sees in your history you have asthma. He says, oh, hey, I think we're going to be able to help your asthma. You see this chart on the wall? He's got this chart on the wall of teeth. And the teeth have meridians. You guys heard this thing called meridians? The teeth have meridians to the organs. And he goes, you see that molar? That left molar goes to the lungs. I think we're going to be able to help your asthma with your molar. What just happened to your trust in that dentist? Did it go up or down?
I feel like it went down.
A little or a lot?
Quite a bit.
Do you want to go back to them for even dentistry anymore?
Probably not.
That's the market forces. I don't know you, do I? I don't know you, do I?
No.
No, we just met, right? That's chiropractic. That's what's happening in the chiropractic profession. That little chart, they pushed a little button to the liver, and little does the chiropractor know, he's violating the number 1 rule in marketing called violation of law of line extension. We can't perceive things that way.